Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a full face of INIKA products. So INIKA is one of my all-time favorite brands. They're a natural vegan product, and I just love what they make. They have like a full range, mascara through to primer, lipsticks, and all their colors are really quite beautiful and feel light on the skin. So the main thing that I use by them is the loose powder foundations, which do contain SPF in them, so sun protection. I do kind of have pretty much oily face syndrome, which you might notice in my earlier videos. So I never really knew of like mattifying powders, and I never really used to touch up my makeup simply because I just didn't realize how oily my skin actually was. I used to think that my skin was dry. So anyway, but yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go through and do my makeup in a way that I really wasn't doing before, because all I would do was put on foundation over primer and then powder, which is like the loose mineral powder. I was not using any like translucent or anything setting that would kind of help with oil absorption. So yeah, just getting back into it, I'll just go ahead and put on their Certified Organic Pure Primer, which does have hyaluronic acid in it. I really love this primer, so even if I'm going out, I do tend to prefer like the MAC primer, because it's just it just creates a more seamless finish with my nose and like my T-zone really. But I will always, because it's so gentle, use the INIKA Organic primer around my eye area, because obviously it's a more delicate area of your skin. I don't feel bad when I put it around my eyes or on my eyes. It just doesn't feel like I'm doing myself any wrong, and that's the thing I love about this product. So it's all hypoallergenic and dermatologist tested. So I'm trying to read the box for you guys. It is designed in Australia, but it's made in the US. So they're vegan, they're not tested on animals, and they're also endorsed by the Australian Federation of Islamic Councils, so it's halal. So I know a lot of people are kind of against halal and will boycott brands that actually go ahead and mark their products as halal. Whatever comments that brings me, I don't really get that when you boycott a brand for trying to be more inclusive. If people, because of their culture, can't use a brand because it's not halal endorsed, that just means that an individual can't get into a product or use it. So I just really like it when brands are inclusive. That's not to say anything about my culture. That is just that's just my humble opinion. So I really like that they've included people from other cultures and kind of welcomed them to use a product. I think that's a really nice thing to do. And in other news, the foundation that I really like is their liquid foundation. So yeah, this is like 75% certified organic ingredients, which is cool. So the color that I use is honey. I'm really hoping and praying and wishing that that there is actually some product left in here, because the last time I tried it, there was like 4 pumps and nothing came out. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is how much I love the product. Like, she's gone. She is so gone. But anyway. So I'm using my stipple brush by EcoTools. This is the second time I'm using the brush. I think I've got their concealer as well. I've got a BB cream. I've also got like a little tester size of the BB cream. So I might have to supplement the foundation with this if I don't really get the coverage I'm after. So I'm just going ahead with the stipple brush. To be really honest with you, like, it is a really weird feeling because it's almost prickly, because you're meant to kind of really tap in to your skin, which is the whole idea of stippling. And the bristles are pretty prickly. This one by EcoTools is anyway. So I don't really feel comfortable doing my eyelids with this brush. just because I'm not using any concealer. I've run out of my concealer by INIKA, but I'm just going to maybe use their BB cream just for something light around my eyes and as a bit of an eyeshadow primer. So I'll be back with that. Okay, so I've put the BB cream, so it's kind of older, so I think the color is worn off, unless there is no color. So this is a certified organic BB cream. The one I had was sitting for quite a while and I didn't really shake it up. I've had this bottle for like at least 6 months, and it started to separate, which is a little bit unfortunate. It came out really liquid, but yeah, it's still done the job really nicely around my eyes and my eyelids. So I'm just going to finish off stippling, and the only thing that I don't really have by INIKA is an eyebrow product. I don't actually know if they have one, so what I'm going to do is use my new Nacio brow kit and do my brows with this one, just to kind of have more of a balanced, finished off look. So I'll just do that and I'll be back in a jiffy. Okay, so that's about the strongest my eyebrows have ever been. I really looked into quite a lot of brands before I actually purchased this one. I don't know too much about Nacio apart from their products seem to be more gentle and natural. Out of everything that I looked at, just all the generic pharmacy brands like Maybelline, this one just seemed to, I did test it quite a few times in the shops before actually buying it. I visited the shops on a couple of occasions just to test it on my eyebrows and see how it wears. It does hold really well. It comes with 2 brown shades and an actual wax or gel. It's an actual wax. And then it also comes with like little applicator brushes, a comb, as well as a tiny tweezer. So it's pretty good value. And it has a mirror at the top there, which is also really nice if you're someone that likes to touch up your eyebrows on the go. I usually do really soft eyebrows. I kind of went a little bit heavy, just for the sake of creating a stronger look, just because everything that I'm using today is fairly soft. But yeah, I'll just see how it turns out, because yeah, it's just having a bit of a play. I went ahead and lined my lips with the INIKA Certified Organic Lip Liner, and I think the color is called Safari. I've had this for quite a while. It's lasted me really well. I do prefer this kind of shade for like work, just like a bit of a nude. I'll just show you guys. It's yeah, nice and soft, but yeah, I just wanted to line my lips just to kind of help myself balance everything out before I go ahead and do the rest of my face. So I'm just going to be using my INIKA eyeliner in a bit of a green. I think it's called Mangrove. I'm not entirely sure, the color is worn off, but it's a beautiful shimmery green kind of color there. Okay, I'll go ahead and line my eye. And I went ahead and did my eyeliner as well as the waterline of my eye itself. This is a really pretty green. It's one of my favorites, even if I'm not wearing any makeup. It's just something that kind of helps lift a little bit, just, you know, to pick me up in my day. It's quite a nice eyeliner. It doesn't smudge, it doesn't run. You can put it into your eyeliner and I don't feel it runs into your eye. So for something that's natural, it's really hard wearing, because even I mentioned in my other video, the Benefit Bad Girl eyeliner, it's meant to be waterproof, but it constantly runs into my eye, which I've never had an eyeliner do. This one, I don't feel it going into my eye, and I don't see it going into my eyeball itself, which is really, really, really nice. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, because I don't have too many of their eyeshadows, I've only got one in the color Mango. I think that's the 26 Mineral eyeshadow. In the Mango, it's a really cute, peachy, orangey pink. But I do have the Mineral Bronzing bronzer called Sun Loving. And I'm going to use that as a bit of a transition color today, simply because I don't really want to go into other brands. I would like to just show you how their products wear today. Okay, so I'm using the long eyeshadow brush by The Body Shop. Do you know what, you guys? I'm actually going to go in with the blush and highlighter brush, just because I've found It's actually nicer just to apply eyeshadow. You really get the full effect of your eye socket by doing that. It's a bit easier than trying to get the shape that you want with a small little feathered brush. I just feel like it fills it right up with color, which is may or may not be what you want to do, but this is just what I prefer doing. So it's a really nice bronzer. I always use this bronzer like in my everyday to go out. I love, love, love this bronzer. It really it has a slight shimmer in it, and it's a real fine shimmer, so it's a very, 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 very slight highlight, very golden, and it just blends into your skin really well. It doesn't look unnatural, and it's perfect for day or night wear. It looks really good in photos, always looks natural, never get flashback. It's a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. I highly, highly recommend the bronzer. And yeah, as I said, the color that I use is Sun Loving. I've bought at least 4 pots. I've really lost count, but I know I've bought at least 4. I don't really think I've worn makeup for longer than 6 years on a regular basis. It's really, yeah, it's just dependent on the line of work that I've been in, whether or not I wear a lot of makeup. So that's my eyelids all covered with the bronzer. So yeah, it's a nice natural kind of bronze. And so yeah, I'll go in with the Mango Mineral Eyeshadow. So they're all like loose pots. I'll just show you this one here. Nice loose makeup. Because I put this in my bag, it's shaken up and gone everywhere, and so it's filled up the top. If you can keep it flat, it's gonna keep a lot better than what I've done. So yeah, so I'm just loading on the brush a little bit. And where am I gonna put it? I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna do like my lower, like my inner fold in the pink, and then just kind of like blend it out a bit. I think that's what I'll do today. This is the second time I'm using the Body Shop eyeshadow brush. It's a really nice little brush. It feels really soft. Does feel good to blend with it as well. So yeah, that's quite a good deal of like natural rosiness in this product, which I really, really like. It doesn't fall out. So with the Too Faced foil shimmers, foil eyeshadows, it fell out onto my lower eye quite a lot, whereas this, it just sticks to my upper lid, and I don't really, there's no fallout, which is quite amazing. I'm really impressed, and it does give, depending on how much you pack it on and how many layers you put on, you can really build up the color the way it is in the actual pot. So it's a very beautiful peachy color, and I think I've worked that as much as I wanted. I'm just gonna do some blending now. Let me close this pot. Okay. I'll just get up nice and close and show you what I've done. So I just kind of went for a little bit of a different look today. I'm just kind of lined my lower lash line with a bit of the color as well, and kind of blended it through a little bit more. just for something different today. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'll just go ahead and put on some mascara and lashes. I do not have the INIKA mascara. That's one thing I've never bought. I have tried it, liked it. I've just never ended up buying it because I do have quite straight eyelashes. So I'm a little bit touchy about buying natural products because I feel like they tend to leave product on my lower line. That's not my lower eye. That's not to say it will. I just never have tried the INIKA mascara. I would love to. They look really pretty. I've just never actually bought them. So what I'm going to use today is just my Old Faithful Benefit Roller Lash, which is on its last legs. And yeah, I will be back once that's done. Alright, so that's my eyes all done. This little friend of mine, the Baked Mineral Foundation in Inspiration, is something that lives in my handbag. So I use a little powder puff that didn't come with it. It's just by Manicure. And it's really great just for like little touch-ups throughout the day, which I don't really get into. I'm not one of those people that likes to touch up throughout the day. But I just keep it in there just in case. Sorry, I just had to pause the video because there was a lot of ruckus out there. Anyway, I don't know what that was about. But I've also got it in the loose foundation. So I'm just going to use my kabuki brush to kind of take it off the actual baked pan. For me, it tends to kick it around more than get it into the actual brush. So that's just a little point of reference for you. This is why I mainly use that for a touch-up. It doesn't give too much product and doesn't cake up. For a first application, I like to go in for a more fuller coverage. And for that, you want a loose powder. So I always just tip it in to the little lid and load up the brush. So that's the kind of little motion I do. See, that's what you want. And I always knock it down to get it to go right into the bristles of the brush, so that while you're working it in, you're not running out of product as you move across your face super quickly. So, and it also doesn't have like too much on for when you first start at the tips. It's more of a gradual release. So I'm just gonna coat my face in a dusting and really set the liquid. So I kind of regret buying the stippling brush, to be blunt with you, because there's nothing wrong with a kabuki for stippling. Because if you do this to begin with, which is probably just the technique that I was missing out on, I think as soon as I was applying powder, I was just like going in circles, which probably isn't the best technique. So I wouldn't recommend buying a stippling brush. If you can get an amazing kabuki brush like this INIKA kabuki brush, and I'm not sponsored at all, I buy my own stuff. I'm just a real huge fan of the INIKA brand. But hey, like, try it out in a store before you go ahead and buy one online. But I really can swear by the INIKA brushes. I've bought them repeatedly, and I think one will last you at least a year. I don't wear makeup every day, but with regular use, it's lasted me over a year, and I wash them quite often, so they keep really, really well. So yeah, with a nice full kabuki brush, you can achieve stippling effects. It's really all in your technique. So you really want to pat it into your nose and around your nose, which is something I've only recently learned. And that's obviously distributing your powder. And then you can go ahead and blend it in a circular motion. So I'm just laying on the powder. I'm going to do this in 3 steps. So my INIKA Inspiration shade is sort of like my full face. The Trust foundation is the shade that's a bit too light for me. It came in a set, so that's the only reason I have Trust. It is a little bit too light for me, but I like to use it as kind of like to help contour and define if that's what I'm going for in a day. I'm just going to clean off this brush just because I've been using it for my eyeshadow, and I'm gonna sort of do a little slight bit of like highlighting and maybe some contouring with the bronzer itself. So again, this is just another loose foundation. It's just in a smaller pot because it came in a bit of a set. So that's how I'm loading it up. In my little brush there. I really like this brush by The Body Shop. It's really quite nice. The only thing with INIKA is I just wish I had more of their brushes. They do have a nice little set going, purely because of like affordability for me at the moment. It is like a nice, they do have like specials all the time with INIKA, like, you know, if you buy a foundation, they'll give you a mascara. That's the latest special that I saw last week at Meijer. Yeah, they always have like really good deals. But yeah, I just haven't bought the rest of their stuff. So this is a bit more of a brow bone highlight, and just doing like the bridge of my nose, and I might just do like my inner eye a little bit. Just to lighten up. And just maybe brighten up a little bit under my eye. Hopefully it's not got too much shadow on there, eyeshadow. I don't want to end up with like pink under eye. Alright, so that's that. Okay, and I'll go through with some of the bronzer. I've never really used this stuff like on my nose for like a nose contour, but here goes nothing, yeah? So I'm not going too heavy with this. I might have to just use it up a little bit to tone it down. Okay, so I don't like to call it contouring as much as it is like framing your nose. But that's probably just me being silly. Alright, so once you have a little bit of a small contour going, I don't have too many of these brushes. I do have a spare, but I'm not going to break into it. But I wash my brushes often enough that I can sort of do two things with one brush. So I'll put on foundation, and then I will also use it as a blending brush and a bronzing brush, even though I have like a blush highlighting bronzer brush. It just kind of, I kind of prefer my makeup well blended. I don't really do strong lines. Maybe I will one day. Stay tuned. But yeah, I just like to load up my brush just a little bit with the bronzer so it's not heavy, and just do my usual spots. So a little bit of a cheekbone, the nose, under the neck, and blend out the hairline. So I always end up with a little bit of makeup in my hairline, but I just think if you do, it's just good to kind of like blend it out a little bit. Okay, and once the product is more or less used up, I'll go in and I'll do like a bit of a gentler blend in, just to soften it up and blend in the powder that I stippled into my skin before. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. Last couple of things I'm going to do is highlight and blush. So their blush is one of the prettiest blushes I've used. It's a mineral blush. Again, it's loose. And this one is the Rosy Glow. It came in a set with the Trust mineral foundation pot, and a couple of other things. I don't really know what came in there anymore. I'll try and show. So this is like a white brush, one of my UE brushes. Sorry, I really wish it would focus. But yeah, I'll show it to you on a white brush just so you can sort of like see the color of this one. I really hope that's sort of good enough. But it's a very like pinky, natural, nudie color. That's it there. Okay, so I don't know why I put it on that brush actually. It's not like I can use blush on that brush. Sorry, I don't know where my head's at. Alright, so the blush brush that I'm going to use is just my old Body Shop brush, which I like for blushes. I might try and transfer it a little bit. I think because I was going to go in with a highlighter on this brush. Okay, you know what? I'll do that. I'll do that first. So this is a Light Reflect highlighting cream by INIKA. So this was a free sample I got from Adore Beauty when I made an order with them. That's the cool thing about adorebeauty.com. They give you free samples and usually Tim Tams. So if you've never bought anything from them, you might want to check them out. They're a pretty cool website. Again, I'm not sponsored at all. I'm just letting you guys know what I use and like or love or don't use that often. So it's just an information share. So yeah, so I usually just put this on with my fingers. If I go makeup free in my day, I will sometimes just go with a bit of highlighter, do my cheekbones and maybe a little bit around my eye just to help brighten up. And I always like doing a tiny bit on my Cupid's bow. Just because it's one of my more flattering features. So it's quite a buildable product, this cream. It's kind of slippery. I might not have gotten the best hang of it yet. But yeah, you want to be careful with this one. Maybe it's because I'm not used to like cream highlighters or cream anything. But yeah, it is quite a nice little highlight. But again, it's sort of something that isn't necessarily like the most manageable product I've used. I might just try blending it in a little bit with this highlighting brush. Remembering that I just had bronzer in it, so anyway. You can tell I haven't planned this video through. Yeah, I knew my little like main points that I wanted to cover and what I wanted to use, but I didn't really think through the order. This is just the usual mayhem that ensues when I try to do my makeup in the mornings. Alright, so can't forget to do the tip of your nose and of course your brow bone. So I've gone through that little blob pretty quickly. Oh, it's pretty strong. Wow, that is a lot of nose highlight. Yeesh. Okay. That's a bit embarrassing. Okay, that's toned it down. Okay, so I think it does come out really strong. I didn't really like it very much when I first bought it. But when I started sort of like using it on the back of my hand to apply, and then I would see like how well it sits on my skin, I sort of started to try to give it more of a chance, just because, yeah, I wasn't really using it just because of how it came out. I kind of, as I said, I'm not used to like more liquid and cream sort of products, so I just kind of avoided it altogether, which wasn't very nice of me, was it? So yeah, just gonna do the brow bone, highlight a little bit. So yeah, I think what I'm finding with the cream powders, cream products, is to just kind of like mix it in and like get an even coverage happening on your actual brush before actually putting it on your skin. It is actually a really nice little highlighter. I should have given it more of a chance when I first started. See, that's the thing. I want to blend it out, but I'm not like expert level, so I'm not really sure how to go about it. Like, it seems really like solid when you first put it on, but it's a really nice highlighter. I really like it. It's just a matter of comfort, I guess. Okay, blend it out a little bit more, and then I'll show you their beautiful blush. It is quite a strong highlight, like you do get a bit of the bling happening. Okay, so we'll do the blush. I won't actually. I'll use my little angled highlighter brush. So I'll put on a little bit of it actually. So apparently you're meant to smile, otherwise you don't know where to put your blush. And it's always on the apples of your cheeks, which was always hard for me to figure out where exactly that is, but do your best. Okay. And I always like to kind of help balance your face. Once you've put on the blush, maybe if there is any excess, you want to just do a little bit of a sweep. If you're going for a pinker look, obviously, if you've got like blue or green or black, don't do this. But if you're doing a more nudie, natural effect, it really helps lighten up around your eyes to put on some of the blush onto your eyelids, and it helps blend it out a little bit, depending on your color combination, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much